the Treasury Department, as I understand it, is getting ready to issue its rules that would govern the tax credits that would apply to green hydrogen. I think you've begun producing hydrogen at one of your nuclear reactors up in New York. But I understand there are some concerns, or some analysts have raised a question about whether in the short term we might end up effectively with dirty production of the electricity needed to produce this green hydrogen, and thus in trying to produce a cleaner fuel, end up encouraging, at least in the short run, greater use of dirty power sources. How do you see that playing out?
Yeah, Dave. So remember earlier I talked about this situation of time matching and geographic matching. Imagine it wasn't a generic factory in New Jersey, but a hydrogen producing factory in New Jersey. And it wasn't really using clean energy that was locally produced at the same time, but instead counting on these renewable energy certificates, some accounting rule that allowed it to use Texas wind that was generated months earlier and isn't around in Jersey. That would be a real problem for hydrogen production, because then that facility would claim that it was using clean energy, but in effect, it would be using natural gas and other forms of dirty energy to make hydrogen. So the kind of the network of NGOs, environmental NGOs, the Sierra Clubs, the NRDCs, many others out there have said that before we institute this tax credit policy, the folks who are making hydrogen have to demonstrate that it is being produced with clean energy that's right there at the source and is made at the same time it's being consumed. And Constellation is a strong advocate for that. In fairness, many of those parties would also say that you should only make clean hydrogen with new green energy deployment. That is new nuclear, wind, solar, geothermal, or hydro. We think that'll take way too long to make the amount of hydrogen needed, and doesn't fundamentally address the oversupply problem that I've talked about in the fall and the spring, and that we're already seeing. The language of the statute in this regard is very clear that existing forms of clean energy, like nuclear, are allowed to be used to make hydrogen. So I would be surprised if that's the direction that the regulations go, but we just don't know yet. So I've been quite vocal that we've suspended the deployment of clean hydrogen technology pending the outcome of the rules, but wildly enthusiastic about the time match and the geographic match. Folks, if you take anything from this program, time and geographic matching has to be part of the policy going forward, or we're going to blow this chance.